Once upon a time, there was a girl named Rose. She was confident, talkative, and always cheerful. People loved being around her energy. She had one close friend, Bella. Bella was completely different. She was silent, introverted, and often dissatisfied. Whenever she spoke about someone, she focused only on their flaws. She complained, criticized, and carried negativity in her words. Because of her behavior, people slowly started avoiding Bella. Only Rose stayed by her side. But over time, even Rose began distancing herself. Negativity is heavy, and not everyone can carry it for long. One day, Rose found out that Bella had left the city and moved somewhere else. Life continued. Years passed. Rose became busy with her work, her ambitions, her growing world. And slowly, Bella became just a memory. Years later, Rose had to travel to another city for official work. After finishing her meetings, heavy rain suddenly started pouring. She stood under a small shelter waiting for it to stop. People gathered around her. The air smelled of wet earth. Suddenly, she felt a gentle tap on her shoulder. She turned around and froze. It was Bella, but this Bella was different. She looked confident, calm. There was softness in her eyes and warmth in her smile. She was glowing, not because of makeup, but because of something deeper. Rose was shocked. This was not the same negative, dissatisfied girl she once knew. They began talking. After a few minutes, Rose couldn't hold her curiosity anymore. She asked, "What changed you?" Bella smiled and said, "I learned to reflect instead of blame. I learned to accept myself. I understood that being positive and happy is the best practice I have ever done." That transformation didn't happen magically. It happened because Bella unknowingly practiced something very powerful, a Japanese concept called Hansei. Hansei means self-reflection, but it is deeper than just thinking about what happened. Hansei means honestly accepting your mistakes, taking responsibility, and continuously improving yourself. In Japan, especially in companies like Toyota, Hansei is a core principle. Even after achieving success, they sit down and ask, what could we have done better? Imagine achieving success and still searching for improvement. That is growth mindset at its highest level. Hansei works in 4 simple but powerful steps. First, accept the mistake. No excuses, no blaming, just acceptance. If you fail an exam, instead of saying, the paper was tough or the teacher didn't teach properly, Hansei asks you to say, I didn't prepare well enough. That honesty is uncomfortable but powerful. Second, feel constructive regret, not guilt, not self-hate, just a healthy realization that you can do better. Third, identify the root cause. Ask yourself, why did this happen? Was it lack of discipline? Poor time management? Fear? Overconfidence? Hansei is not emotional drama. It is analytical thinking about yourself. Fourth, create an improvement action. Reflection without action is useless. If you are late every day, Hansei pushes you to sleep earlier, set alarms, prepare your bag at night. Small actions, consistent actions. That is real growth. Now, think about Bella. Earlier, she blamed others. She saw only flaws. She carried dissatisfaction. But one day, maybe alone in a new city, she asked herself, why do people avoid me? Why am I unhappy? Is the world negative? Or am I? That moment of honest reflection changed her. Instead of blaming, she improved. Instead of complaining, she practiced gratitude. Instead of criticizing others, she worked on herself. That is the power of Hansei. Most people repeat mistakes because they defend their ego. They react, they blame, they justify. Very few reflect. And that is why very few transform. In relationships, when a friendship breaks, instead of saying she changed or he was wrong, Hansei asks, did I communicate clearly? Did I overreact? Did I ignore warning signs? This doesn't mean you are always wrong. It means you are always growing. In confidence building, when you feel insecure in a room full of people, instead of thinking, I'm not good enough, ask, do I need better preparation? Do I need skill improvement? Or am I comparing myself too much? Hansei turns pain into progress. Even in success, Hansei applies. If you score 90%, don't just celebrate. Ask, where did I lose the 10%? Another concept connected to Hansei is Kaizen, continuous improvement. But remember this difference. Kaizen is improvement. Hansei is reflection before improvement. Without reflection, improvement is blind. Now, here's a simple daily Hansei practice. Every night before sleeping, ask yourself 3 questions. What did I do well today? Where did I make mistakes? What will I improve tomorrow? Write it down. Over time, you will notice something powerful. You become more self-aware, more responsible, more emotionally mature, and naturally more confident. Because true confidence does not come from pretending to be perfect. It comes from knowing you are improving. Hansei is not self-criticism. It is not saying, I am useless. It is not saying, I always fail. It is saying, I made a mistake. I will improve. There is strength in that sentence. Mistakes are not your enemy. Ego is. Reflection is not weakness. It is maturity. Growth is not automatic. It is intentional. Start Hansei today. Reflect honestly. Improve consistently. And watch how your life transforms. Because the best version of you is built through reflection.